Hello everyone, welcome back to another painting tutorial. Today's one is going to be a Mirkwood elf captain. I'm going to be doing this different colour scheme to what you see in the film, and be following more the colours of the knights that you see mounted next to Thranduil. So it's basically, instead of golds, it's going to be silvers for the armour. So at this point all I've done is I've put the model together, I've based it, I've applied Vallejo thick mud, European thick mud to the base. I've sprayed it with leather brown army painter spray, and I've added a watered down Rhinoxide over the base. So now we're ready to paint. So first I think would be a good step is to paint the tunic and the back of the cloak and sleeves using Mechanicus standard grey. So on the normal Mirkwood elves we're looking at greens and reds for the cloak, but it's going to be grey and silver scheme for this one. Now that's all dry, we're going to be doing the cloak and the sleeves. We'll avoid the tunic, and we're going to be giving it a coating of contrast Black Templar. One coat won't be enough, so apply this, wait for it to dry, and then give it another coat, and I'll take a photo of the first coat and the second coat to show the difference. This will just make the cloak go be a black colour, and you won't need to highlight it after thanks to the contrast paint. As you can see from the photos, I had a little bit of a change of plan. I did add contrast paint to their tunic, mainly because I was going to wash it with Nuln Oil and then highlight with Ashen Grey, so I think it pretty much does that all in one go anyway. So I did that. As you can see from the cloak, it's still a little grey. I wanted to be more of a black colour, so I'm just going to give it another coat of contrast Black Templar again. If you're happy with this colour, you could always stop at this point, but I want it to be more black. While that last coat of the contrast paint is drying, we're going to be doing the armour and the blades on the glaive using lead belcher. We're going to do the chainmail in the middle of the model as well. Okay, so we'll have a look at that when it's finished. As you can see from the photos, the cloak is nice and dark now, and now you can see all the metals areas painted. Don't forget there is a bit of armour on the boots as well. You might just about see them protruding underneath these long robes of theirs. So next stage now we're going to be doing the inner part of the cloak using Mephiston Red, and just be careful not to get it over the nice parts you've already painted. Now the cloak is done, we're going to be doing any belts, and we're going to be doing the boots with Dryad bark. From the photo you could just make out the belt just below the breastplate on the model. It's quite a fine belt. It's not the easiest thing to take a photo of with this camera anyway. So next step now, you can see the indents on the armour, all the raised up bits, and the edges of the van braces and shoulder armour. We're going to be doing that Balthazar gold. Next step now, we're going to be doing the arms, so just in between the armour joints, and the gloves using Rhinox hide. So again, try to be careful not to get onto areas you've already painted. So we're going to wait for all our paint to dry now, and then we're going to be giving the armour, the red parts of the cloak, the boots, and the brown bits we just did then, we're going to be giving that a wash of Nuln Oil. Now the wash is all dry, we're going to be dry brushing the blades of the glaive and the chainmail or scale mail with Ironbreaker. While we wait for the Ironbreaker to dry, we're going to be highlighting the gloves using Doombull Brown. We're now going to paint the handle of the glaive using Gawthor Brown. Now we're going to be giving the glaive an edge highlight of Runefang steel, just to give it that razor sharp edge. We're also going to be giving a single layer of Runefang steel to the pattern on the tunic of the elf. This will just make it look like some sort of silver embroidery. So if I show you the gold version on the armoured elf, you can see just about in the light you can see it, but then sometimes you can't, and this is the kind of effect I'm going for. You might not like it, so you might want to give it a few layers just to give it a solid colour, but I like this translucent effect it has. So it looks like some sort of like very fine gold thread on the tunic. So I'll do it on the captain model, and you can cast your judgment on this technique. The silver isn't as patchy as the gold one I did, but it's just as effective and gives it a nice colour to the tunic. Now we're going to highlight the glaive using Steel Legion Drab. Now it's time for the hair. Since I have two captain models here, I'm going to do two different hair colours. So the base layer of the hair for the two models is going to be, one is going to be Steel Legion Drab, and the other one's going to be Dryad Bark. When both colours are dry, we're going to be shading the Steel Legion Drab here with Agrax Earthshade, and the Dryad Bark with Nuln Oil. Both shades are now dry, so we're going to be highlighting the Steel Legion Drab with Karak Stone and the Dryad Bark with Gawthor Brown. Apologies everyone, when I said highlight, what I really meant was dry brush. So as you can see, the hair's looking decent. So now we're going on to the final steps of this model, which is going to be the face. Since the hands are covered, this is the only flesh area. So we're going to be starting the base with that using Vallejo Flat Flesh. My Citadel version of this dried up on me a while ago, and I quite like this colour, so I can't remember what the colour is, but I used to remember it as Dwarf Flesh, but that goes years back, but I know all you will know what that colour is if you look at your conversion charts. So I'll put that on first, and we'll have a little look at the model. This coat will appear a bit streaky. You can add another coat if you want. I'm not going to, because there's going to be a few other steps in the painting of the face, so I think these will be covered up by that. So we're going to wait for this to dry, and then we're going to give it a coat of contrast Guilliman Flesh. Now the contrast paint is dry, we're going to be highlighting the face using Kislev Flesh. Now that is done, the final step is going to be giving an edge highlight to all the raised areas of the face using Ushabati bone. So here we have the finished Mirkwood Elf Captain. Just to finish off, I added some flowers to the base. As with the Ranger I painted, the base is pretty much done. So there we go, I hope you enjoyed it. Quite simple really, but does look quite nice now it's done. There you go, the cloak as well, looks quite good with the gold and silver armour. So I hope you enjoyed. If you want more videos like this, just please subscribe to my channel.